Hello, everybody, and welcome to another daily chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. We are here on a Sunday as scheduled, right on time. That other one I did the other day was just a little extra one, and that won't be a regular occurrence. It will be Sundays as always. That was just like an emergency broadcast. I hope everyone is all right. I hope everyone has had a happy day. I see lots of people in the chat already. Russ, absolutely average. Hello, good to see you. Ryan, Sanity Checkers. Hello, Cosmic War Toad, Blood Nose, Jody. Rafi, hello, good to see you. That's my techie man that works in the background. He's good. Hello, Lorraine. Hope you're all right. Good to see you. Thanks for your email the other day. Nigel the Handyman's here. Just going up. Surf, Emma Jones, hello to you. One of our newer subscribers, and good to see you. Handy Andy, Gary Thornbury, good to see you, my friend, and hope you're well. That's a few of you in there, and hope everyone's all right. Those of you that have arrived, if you haven't done so already, can you please hit the like button, because that helps the old algorithm drive the chat up a little bit more. Midnight Drifter, I want to talk to you, actually. I'm glad that you have put that there. I came across a situation where I understood that you were blocked. I have absolutely no idea why. I looked into that today, and you were actually blocked. I don't know why you were blocked, who did it, how it happened, or why it happened. So I unblocked you. I know that you watch the channel. I know you enjoy the channel, and therefore I don't understand why that happened. So there you go. Speaking of things like that, every now and again, I'm noticing some weird things with YouTube. I'm getting things like Midnight Drifter happening where people are finding they can't comment, or they're getting a thing where they think they've commented and then it disappear. And the other thing I'm noticing as well, long-term subscribers of the channel are finding themselves unsubscribed, which is equally weird also. So if you can just keep an eye on all that all the time for me, and, report any silliness to me if it happens. And then we can go from there. But I think it's the algorithm, really. I think that's what's behind an awful lot of it. Joel Burgess, easy, Andy, bruv. Hope you're well from Bridlington. I certainly am. I'll come to that in a minute. Emma Jones, been a strange old Mother's Day. First one since I left the family home. Bless you. That's the other strange thing. I mean, my stepmom had a thing today. This is the first Mother's Day without her mum. She sadly passed away this year, and that one must be a bad one as well. So my heart goes out to everybody in that position. I mean, how many mothers are in the chat? Give me a 1 if you're a mum. Let's see. Let's see if we have any mothers. Who's this? 10 Dogs Donny from Coventry. Hello to you. Absolutely average. There's a point. Inactive subscribers may be unsubscribed automatically by the rhythm thingy, algae rhythm. Absolutely. Russ, I see you're going to be doing a fair bit with Trevor Colt, doing lives with him. I messaged him about a possible live with him and me, but he was on the school run at the time, and I was on the school run. That was a good couple of weeks ago. I understand he's got some stuff going on, and fair dues. I watched a bit of his live stream earlier, so whenever I'll be well up for that. That'll be a good one. Yeah, Mother's Day for us. And speaking of mothers, mine's in the chat. Yeah, hello, Mum. It didn't quite work out as planned. Hello, Screw Politics as well. Good to see you. Mike Alligators, good to see you. Yes, this leads on to the health thing. For the second year in a row, my health has screwed up Mother's Day in our household. About a week ago now, just over a week ago, I picked up a couple of passengers from the airport, dropped them home, didn't think anything of it. On the Sunday, they started feeling unwell. On the Monday, I started feeling unwell. 2 days later, they phoned me and said, sorry, Andy, we've done the old drip, and they got the old convids. I thought, bugger me, that probably means I've got the convids. And it turns out that's what happened. Now, I know all the laws, you know, you can mix, you can go out, you can do everything else. And to be honest, I'm all for that. But when you've got parents that are older, you've got to give them a choice. I mean, my mum's 156 and my mother-in-law's nearly 87. So it's a case of, do you come or don't you? My mum gave it a miss, understandably. And what happened today, my mother-in-law got a visit from my wife with like a food parcel with sandwiches and scones and all the things. She does a good afternoon tea, my wife, and she went and had a couple of hours of her mum round there. I'm now better. I verified that today, and I've still got all the crud and crap in your throat that you get when you get to the end of these things. Unfortunately, out of my household, there's 4 of us here, me, my wife, and my 2 kids. Jack, who you know, Jack's gone down with it. He got very snotty overnight and everything else, and he's actually all right in himself. He's just a bit bloody snotted up and quite thrilled he's not going to school tomorrow. But hopefully, once it's done with him, it will be all right. It will be all right. But it's a pain in the arse, isn't it? It's an absolute pain in the arse. But I hope everybody's Mother's Day went a lot better than mine did. Rhea Shakespeare, hello, finally got here. Good to see you. And welcome to the channel in the Sunday night live stream. Wayne, I'm single father of 5 since their respective births, nearly a mum. Good on you. Good on you. I had a friend, I've not seen him for years. He did everything for, he only had the one daughter, but, you know, he was mum, dad, chief bottle washer, taxi driver, everything else. I tip my hat to you. I don't know how mums do half the stuff they do. I scratch my head and think, my God. Where are we? Yes, absolutely. But, you know, have to make an assumption based on what the other lot said and follow the chain. It's like logical progression, really. Happy birthing person's day. Yeah, somebody else said that the other day, screw politics. Is that politically correct crappy term for mothers now that we've got to use because of gender identity and all that? No, don't get me started. Truth Junkie, good to see you. Hope you're good. Thank you. Got Benny Hill in the chat. Good to see you. Alan Reader, Alison Riley, good to see you in the chat as well. Hope you're well. Good to have you along. Yes, which brings me on to my next subject. Been an interesting couple of days, hasn't it? I've done a live on, within the last couple of days, and I put a community post up as well about certain issues. And what it was, Ryan, Sanity Checkers, I'm going to put him out there, had a lot of problems with YouTube coming from a direction. And he considered quitting. Those of you that saw his live stream yesterday will know full well he's not going anywhere. He's worked out what he's going to do. And I'm blooming glad because me and 2 others spent the best part of 24 hours talking him out of it. I think it's very wonderful. I think it's great that he's staying. He's a marvellous pianist, a marvellous bloke, has some stuff to say, and great. You know, when people try their hardest to drive others off of YouTube, and they succeed, it's such a tragedy. It's such a tragedy. It really is. And this one has been averted. So, Ryan, it's great that you're staying. If anybody hasn't checked Ryan's channel out, pop over and see him and subscribe him up if you can. That will be good. And, you know, he needs all the support. We need the support here. I've had some wonderful comments over the last couple of days. I really appreciate all of you. And, you know, that's great. Thank you very much. And that's all I am going to say on that subject now. and we move forward. We have some videos coming out tomorrow. I recorded 4 of them before I did the live stream. You know, and they'll come out from 8 o'clock as normal. So we'll get a bit more regularity going from next week. I had some people say to me, "Are you all right, Andy? Where are you, Andy?" Well, I'm here, so no problem. Thank you, Blood Nose. That's the link to Ryan's channel in the chat there for people to go over and give him a look. He released a thing earlier to do with his Veterans album. And there's a music track on the channel there. Brilliant. Go check it out. Where are we? Yeah, your support will not be forgotten, mate. That's how YouTube works. Trevor Court is another one. Go look at what he says on his channel. We work together. We pull each other up. We work as a community. And, you know, we build each other. We get on. That's how YouTube should work at the end of the day, and we're proof in action of that. It's great. And lessons learned. Right, next one on the list. You know, I actually made a list today. I don't usually make a list. It all just comes off of here. I've even got a pencil to go with it. If you haven't done so already, folks, please hit the like button if you're just here on this YouTube chat, because the algorithm and all that stuff, it helps it grow. And that's all good. Ria, no rest for the wicked. Yes, I'm off out at 2 o'clock in the morning, going to the airport, as per usual. Right. Yes. Next item on the agenda. Mobile phones. Apparently, we have an emergency broadcast system which has been put onto our mobile phones. And the government are going to be running a test. They're going to be sending a broadcast message out to our mobile phones, apparently telling us, don't panic. This is a test to see if it works, and you can't use your phone until you've acknowledged it. And you have to actually push a button to acknowledge the thing and, you know, get rid of it. Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems a bit intrusive. And the other thing that I'd want to know, is why now? Why is this system coming out now? I've known it's been there for a week or two because I brought a video out on it before, but why are they making a song and dance about this now? I want to play you a video where Sky News tell you a little bit about it, and I'll bring it up now, so bear with me. I've got all this pre-queued. Okay, I trust everyone can see that all right. Before I play it, who we got here? Truth Junkie, £10 super chat. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Thank you for that pearl of wisdom. You're absolutely correct. And thank you for the £10 super chat. Very much appreciated, Truth Junkie. Right. I hope everyone can see that all right. I'm going to mute my microphone, load it up full screen, and then let's have a look.
An emergency alert service is being launched to warn people about potentially life-threatening events such as wildfires and severe flooding. The government is to test the system next month, meaning people will receive a siren-like message on their phone. We're live to our correspondent, Alice Porter, who's in the newsroom. So here we are. Here's my phone. What am I going to get on this trusty device?
Well, either on your phone or your tablet. If there is an emergency and the government want to alert you about it, your phone will vibrate. It will read a message out to you, and there will be a siren that will go for about 10 seconds. I think we can hear a little bit of what that will sound like. So this is the alert that will only be sent by the emergency services or government bodies which are dealing with an emergency, and they'll only be sent when there is an immediate risk to people's lives. And that includes things like severe flooding, fires, extreme weather, and public health emergencies. It's also hoped that almost 90% of mobile phones in a defined area could be reached under the new plans. Now, this system has been tested in local parts of the country, but it's also hoped that on the 23rd of April, everybody in the country will receive one of these alerts. And the idea is that by having everyone in the country receive it, they also have to acknowledge it as well. And that will be, they won't be able to continue using their phone unless they acknowledge it. And that's going to be on the 23rd of April.
And is that going to cause any privacy concerns briefly? Because the fact that the government, is, in a way, some might say, is looking at how the phones are operating.
Well, the Cabinet Office have been keen to stress that they are not keeping anyone's personal data. And I think it's important to stress that this people's personal data isn't being used. You're not having a text message sent to your own personal mobile. What it is that if you are in the vicinity of an emergency, they know that because of data that's being gathered from cell towers. And that's how it's working. But I think very much from the government's perspective, they've looked at other countries, the US, Canada, that have got a similar scheme being that's been rolled out there. They're really hoping that it could be instrumental, particularly in cases of extreme weather, such as flooding, the fires we saw last summer as well. But it also has an enormous amount of potential if there is a terrorist attack. They've not said they're going to be rolling out for that, but they are going to be looking at the potential. But also people cannot opt out of this. They don't have to continue with it, but the government is very much hoping that people will continue with it and saying it could save lives.
Reading the comments while that piece of footage was playing, you're all of a similar view. What's this all about? How do we get rid of it? Well, you know, what are they playing at now? Now, when I did a live stream with Funky Prepper, well, one of the things we were discussing was how they drip feed some of this a little bit at a time into our daily lives. Now, they talk about natural disasters and all this sort of thing. You know, what natural disasters do we really get in this country? We've had the odd mini tornado. We've had the odd bushfire. I mean, they went mad about global warming a year ago. And the truth of it is probably somebody drove down the road and flung a fag out the window and set fire to the bushes. Floods, unless you live in a floodplain where 200 houses have been built, I don't get it. So what exactly do they know that we don't? What do they see coming over the hill that we don't? A lot of people are saying, how do we get rid of it? What do we do to get rid of it? Well, I had a look. Hang on a minute. I've just got text off my missus. This text I got off my missus, it says, what do you think takeaway-wise? She sent that to me 3 hours ago, and I've only just got it. Her phone's playing up. Yeah, we had takeaway. Shh, don't tell everybody. But yeah, if you go into, you've got like the settings thing and a search bar at the top of the phone. And if you type in the word emergency, you will get a load of options up. And I took a screen print of what it shows on my phone. And I'll put it on the screen for you now. That's what's on my phone when you drill down. Emergency alerts, and you've got extreme alerts, severe alerts, emergency alert history, and you can disable or enable any of it. Now, I think it was Emma that asked, how did they get hold of the phone number? Well, to me, that looks like a scheduled software push, a scheduled software update. So I don't necessarily think that they needed the phone number to actually get it out to you. I think they just line it up as an update and push. You can turn automatic updates off on your phone. You can refuse to do most updates. But when you had all this proximity warning with the old Kung Flu, where, you know, if you went near somebody with it, your mobile phone would flash up, you know, you could turn that off as well. It was something else that had snuck on the system. Yes, I'm on a tight budget, screwed politics. Speaking of screwed politics, he's got a bit of a problem. He was on 666 subscribers yesterday, 666. Very satanic-like. So could somebody do him a favour and nip over and ping him up a couple? So he can get out of that devil area. He could be in all sorts of trouble before you know it. Nuts. Yes, this is the daily chat with Andy, the Gabby Cabby, everybody. It's good to see everybody here. Thank you for joining me. I see lots of old faces, lots of new faces, and lots of faces that haven't been around for a little while. It's great to see the cross-section of you. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button on this live stream. That helps the algorithm, helps give it a boost. And if you haven't subscribed and you watch regularly, please subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and really helps the channel as well. We're doing great. We're growing. We're 37,200 and something now. So really, really great guns. And I really appreciate all of you. And I really appreciate the support you give as well. It's great. Truth Junkie. It's a cell broadcast. No number required. A signal is sent out to repeaters throughout the country. And any equipment with the hardware and software sufficient to receive the signal will work. I think they're talking about 90% coverage or something like that, aren't they, Truth Junkie? It's massive. It's akin to the old air raid sirens. I mean, I had a quick conversation with Paz on his YouTube channel earlier when he mentioned this. And he said when he was a child in Wales, growing up in the 80s, they had an old air raid siren thing that they used to set off there. And, you know, there was very much that paranoia. I grew up in the 80s, and, you know, I remember the feeling of paranoia, which you could sense in the air. And I remember Reagan, and I remember Gorbachev, and I remember that deal in 89 or 90, wherever it was. And you think about the previous generation, our parents, our grandparents, at the start of what was the Cold War, how they must have felt about it as well. It's bad. It's bad. But I don't mean to scare anybody. I really don't. I'll have to see what's coming over the hill. Let's have a quick look in the chat and see who we've got. Alert will say duck and cover. That's an old one, isn't it, Blood Nose? I remember seeing some old American black and whites with that kind of thing. Duck and cover with the kids in the schools under the tables. Just wetting my whistle. Handy Andy, they can potentially target certain areas, but if you call 999, they haven't got a clue where you are. Yeah, it's all backwards, isn't it? Air raid, it has the sound effects. You make a very valid point there, Benny Hill. It's one I wanted to make and I forgot. Hello, Angela Gardner. Good to see you. I hope you're doing okay. Another long-term subscriber. Thank you for all of your support. Yeah, that noise, that tannoy that it made. If you go on YouTube and you type in simulated nuclear attack, BBC, there's a few videos out there which simulate what the actual David Upton. Yes, I love it. Yeah, there's a few videos out there which simulate what the TV footage would be in a nuclear attack. And that siren, that siren that played on that news footage is actually identical to what's on those YouTube videos. So it's almost like it's a backward psychological thing, really. Trying to scare people. It's all scaring again. You know, mad. Angela, you've been in hospital. I hope not too serious, and that you're okay. Let us know. How long before this alert system is hacked? Who knows? I mean, there was another thing not so long ago where O2, their entire system went down. You couldn't get 4G or 5G at all. It's over a year ago, I think, maybe a bit more. It turns out it was a software update that was missing off of one of their servers with some overnight maintenance. So it's all computer controlled. Alison, there was one of these near my school when I was growing up in the 60s. It was a proper siren, and it used to go off every so often. Yeah, there's one in Ramsgate near where I live. So it's on a street corner. I don't know whether it's still there, but it is an old air raid siren, and it's been there for years and years and years. I don't know whether it's live or it's just there. Oh, Christ. Have you got people around you, Angela? Have you got help, or have you got access to help? Have they given you any support? I hope so, because I'm not going to put that message up, because that's not right. But you know, have you got help, or have they given you access to anything? Russ is a good one. Have a look at what Angela Gardner's just said in the chat. That alarms me. Angela, if you email contact@andygifford.online, what I'll do, I'll put that in there. Yeah, tell me what's happened. And, you know, if there's anything I or anyone else can do to help, please do. Because if you've got a problem and we can help, then we will try and do something. You shouldn't be left alone with news like that. No way. That's thrown me off my stride, that has. Yes, just remember you've got a lot of support here. You know, try and reach out. If you've been offered support, and if you need anything, email me and I will get back to you. Right, Truth Junkie. The 5G telecom systems use 700 megahertz right down to UHF. Believe it or not, this band is the old analog TV. I remember reading a thing ages ago where they were going to use the old radio and TV signals to get broadband access out to more rural areas. So that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, Angela, there's another one. Ryan has reached out as well. So if you've not got, you know, the support there, reach out to some of us. And if we can help you, we will. All right. No one should be alone when that happens. Right. 15-minute cities. I've been doing a fair bit of work lately to do with ULEZ, 15-minute cities, and everything that's going on with Oxford, Birmingham, Plymouth. And you've got all these low traffic neighbourhoods. All these clean air zones and everything else going out. It's nuts. It really is nuts. And just to familiarize people, if you don't know, 15-minute cities is this theory whereby everything that one would need is contained within 15 minutes of your house. So, you know, doctors, hospitals, schools, shops, work. The theory is everything is within 15 minutes of your house. Good evening, Johnny. Good to see you. Big supporter of the channel. Yeah, and there is so much uproar about it. I mean, one of the places is Canterbury, near me, where they're talking about installing this 15-minute city into Canterbury, dividing it up into, I think, 5 sections where I saw the map. And the idea is they'll put planters up and everything else, and you're not allowed to go around straight through from one zone to another. You've got to come out and go round. Otherwise, you'll face fines and all this sort of thing. It's disgusting, in my view. It really is disgusting. Now, one of the main things that's happening at the moment, they're putting up these clean air zones, and they're installing planters, trying to cut access to roads off. How are emergency services vehicles going to deal with that? The other thing that's happening, you've got these 20-mile-an-hour zones popping up here, there, and everywhere. There's a guy in Norfolk, I think it's the Police and Crime Commissioner or something like that, don't quote me on it, who cast out on 20-mile-an-hour zones, saying that no one will get fined if they break the speed limit. So what is it, sir? Is it do it or don't do it? It all seems to be all this little preparation all of the time. Now, there's a little bit of kickback to do with 15-minute cities, and particularly the cameras that are being put in place. Funky Prepper made a presentation. He put up a video of a guy coming out with an angle grinder and cutting everything down. I did a video about someone going around putting the Sainsbury's carrier bags over it. There was another guy walking around with his number plate stuck on his back. There'll be a video coming out tomorrow as well about somebody else that's having a pop. And, you know, you are going to get these, I suppose, silent protests all over the place with something like this, and it will go on. Now, somebody sent me a funny picture, which is another use for a cardboard box. This is what came up. Yes, I don't know what kind of camera that was, but it's suddenly got no way of seeing anything at all. I don't know whether that's an Avon box or a storage box or something else, but that's another use for a box. It's quite funny. But people are just not gonna have it. They're not gonna have it. I mean, from the 29th of August, I think it is, that's when the planned ULEZ expansion is going to take place in London. It will cover all London boroughs, and it'll certainly affect my business, if not others. It's mad. I was sent a very good analogy of 15-minute cities earlier on. This one's a bit weird, but I want to play you this now. It sums it up nicely, and it's all to do with chickens. All right, bear with me. I'll give you this. Sanity Checker says box for Prime Minister. Love it. Right, let's mute me again.
About 15-minute cities. And I've seen all these people who extol the virtues of 15-minute cities, that they're great things, and then other people who are very worried about what a 15-minute city is. And I know we have a proclivity in our culture, in our society today, that we have to rely on expert models before we can make a decision if something's good or bad. So I decided that I would create an expert model to help visualize to people what is a 15-minute city. So come on in, let me show you what a 15-minute community looks like.
Well, I'm excited to see this, Randy, because you always break things down into nice practical ways, right?
Here we go. These residents of the 15-minute community, they're not locked in, but they just stay there. They're free to come and go, but they don't. So let's take a step inside. Everything they need in their life is right here in their 15-minute community. A water bowl, a feed tray. They own nothing, but they are exceptionally happy. And you know how happy they are is by how many eggs they produce. And it's so wonderful because I get to take everything that they produce and they just keep producing. So let me go in here. And here we go. Each of them have their own house. Now, in a 15-minute community, you don't get a lot of variation in housing. They're all pretty much the same. But we can take a look and collect their production. There's a few. There's a few more. And there we go.
And they're none the wiser.
And they're happy.
Yeah.
I get to take what they produce. They're free to come and go, but the world is so scary for them out there. They will never leave. I don't have to put a fence around them. And here we are.
It's an ideal world. I don't see anything wrong with it. Everything is provided for them. They're cared for. They're happy. They're together.
Yeah.
It's all convenient.
What? So anybody who wants to understand what a 15-minute community is, here you go. And there's only one boss. And that boss provides everything for them.
Well, they're lucky to have you, Andy.
I thought that was a fantastic analogy. They got the little coop. They got everything they need within that little coop. They don't need to go anywhere else. Everything they produce, the guy takes, the boss, who provides them everything, and they're happy, and they own nothing. Own nothing and be happy. That has a very familiar ring to it, doesn't it? I think if anybody wants a simple analogy as to what a 15-minute city would look like, chickens in a coop. I got sent that earlier, and I thought it was thought it was a good analogy. Jody, comparing human beings, chickens, seriously. Well, yeah, I get your point. I get your point. But, you know, it's just breaking it down to the very simplistic. Let's hope we don't get cock-a-doodle-dood or cock-a-doodle-did, because I'm certainly not up for any of that any more than anyone else in this chat is. Thank you very much. Right. Thank you for your support this evening, and welcome to the Daily Chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. If you've just joined me, please hit the like button. Good to see everybody. And please, if you haven't done so and you are watching for the first time, please subscribe to the channel as well. It's good to see you. Now, with the conversation with that Angela come up with earlier, I want to mention one thing that we do with the channel. That's Discord. I don't know if Bloodnose can put the link up again, but we have a Discord community up on the channel. And we're all in there, so you don't necessarily have to wait for me to produce a video. You can go in and join Discord, and you can chat to all the subscribers, make friends in there, and, you know, get your own little bit of support as well. So it's all great. Now, I've just had a signal strength warning come up on here. I'm not sure why. No, I'm still connected, so we keep going. Can everybody hear me okay? Nigel just said it's getting a little bit patchy. Yeah. Just a little bit pixelated. Yeah, I've got a white signal strength thing on there. And it's telling me that I've got low signal. I don't know why. It might be a bandwidth problem, but we'll carry on. Blurry and sound out of sync. Well, what I'm going to do, I'll just take myself out and put myself back in again. We'll see what happens. Okay, I don't know how that will work. Lads downloading the new Fortnite download. It could be. I mean, I've got a signal extender on the other side of the wall, and it could be that somebody's doing something near it. I'll have to go and find out. Andy's gone black. No, I'm back again. I'm back again. Has Jack gone in the PlayStation? Well, let's find out, shall we? I'm going to go through the comments now and just read out a couple. see who we've got. Christine Cannell, have you heard about the alarm on the 23rd of April being sent to your phones about if there's a disaster? You won't be able to use your phones till after. Yeah, we just spoke about that at the beginning of the stream, Christine. And I'll reiterate what I actually put up. You've got something like that in your phone, emergency contact settings, and you can actually fiddle and tell it what you want to happen and what you don't want to happen. That's what it is. I'm still blank. Be all right after a few pints. So let's do this. Can you hear me? Give me a 1 if you can hear me. Okay, give me a 1 if you can see me. Or a 2 if you can't. Lots of 2s. We can't. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to completely come out of StreamYard and come back in again. The stream will still be going, but I'll leave it and come back in again and see if that helps. Bloody technical problems. Can see you now. See you now. Okay. I'm still going to leave it because it looks like there's definitely a signal strength problem. Give me a minute. Right, how's that? Is that better? Give me a 1 if you can see me and hear me. Better, yes. Fixed, yes. Okay, excellent. Looks like it's all right now. Yeah, on my screen up the top, you get a signal indicator, and it tells you what the signal's doing. And it just suddenly went to 1 bar. My actual signal on the laptop itself is fine, 100%. But for some reason, StreamYard was losing the plot, so I just come out completely and went back in again. That's the great thing about using StreamYard, because when you have that software link between you and YouTube, it will still keep the stream live, and I can just jump out and jump in again. Whereas if you went with YouTube directly, if you came out, I'd just cut it. It's a great piece of kit. A great piece of kit. Right, let's have a quick look through. And my apologies again for all of that. Technical cobblers. Now, as I was saying, we have a Discord channel on Andy the Gabby Cabby. It's actually Absolutely Average's Discord server. He's kindly set up a Discord page for all of the different YouTubers that he has anything to do with, one of which being little old me. And you can go on there and you can have a chat with all of the subscribers. You don't necessarily have to wait for a video to show up, and it's great. And particularly when you're in a situation such as, what Angela's pointed out this evening, you go straight in there and, you've got company. And also, if you want to make contact outside of this environment with people, it's great to do it there as well. Really, really good. Everyone can see me now. That is brilliant. I'm just going to go through and see what we've got comments-wise. We've got lots of 1s and 2s. That's the trouble when you ask for 1s and 2s, isn't it? Christine that mayor needs to go. His next idea, he wants us eating crickets. Yikes. Apparently to stop climate. Jesus. They're all at it, aren't they? They're all at it. I mean, you know, a nice big fat juicy burger, is it going to have anything meat related in it sooner or later? You got to wonder. New comments down here. Very good for getting immediate response. How do you access it? Emma Jones says. Blood Notes, can you repost the link for me again? Because you got Emma asking. Yeah, absolutely average. That's a good point. It's free, completely free, and you just get on there. There's a link, and you know, everyone's there. I think you have to sign up for an ID, like an email address or something like that, to actually access the thing. But once you're in there, you'll find everybody. Somebody's just sent me a message saying, where are we? Buy a paintball gun and shoot the cameras. I saw that suggestion earlier. More passive resistance. Midnight Drifter 10, download the Discord app from the App Store. That's what I've done. You can access it on the desktop, but there's also an app on the phone as well, so you can get things out and about. The trouble is I put the bloody thing on my phone and it's forever going ding, 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 ding. But that's all right. You know, it's somewhere else where everyone can go. See who else we got here. Turns out more CO2 is emitted making an electric car than the average petrol-powered car produces in 10 years. False economy or what? The other thing that's always stuck in my throat with those, Christine, is the impact on the disposal of the batteries. And not only that, how much the damn things cost to replace. I think a Tesla's batteries were something like 20,000 quid, weren't they? And that's a figure I saw banding about. Yeah, I agree with that, Handy Andy. That's a government contract. It stinks of it. You could, there's a website on uk.gov, I think, where you can look at the bids for current government contracts, and you can see what they're actually after and what you can bid on. And it wouldn't at all surprise me if that's on there. Yeah, I mean, I've done a thing on C40 cities as well. You know, the whole thing's a sham. I mean, you've got the government complaining about Khan and his ULEZ, yet Khan is the chairman of the C40 cities group, and the British government is one of their funders. You know, who said it? Follow the money. Follow the money. Yeah. Aren't they using technology for that new emergency broadcast system? What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, exactly. Angela looks like she's found her way to Discord or got the link. That's good. Yeah, this is it. Tony, they want to measure everything everywhere all the time. Digital jails. Once everyone is digital and tied to an ID, we will have no more freedom and definitely won't be happy. It reminds me of that scene out of Demolition Man where Sylvester Stallone swears and gets fined. Midnight Drifter, are you still lifting, Andy? I'm not at the moment because I was far too heavy. I looked at myself in the mirror and I was a bit on the obese side. So I've cut the weightlifting at the moment and changed my diet to get some weight off. But soon, I think from next week onwards, this week coming, there's a karate grading where people are going for their next belts. And I'm not going to do that one because I didn't feel I was ready. But I'm going to do the next one, which will be 3 months from now. And from not this week, but the week after, I will be training hard and preparing myself for that grading. So that's probably where I'll, get the weights again, because it's vital for strength training. And, it really is good when you get older, in your 40s plus. Do a bit of weightlifting. It really is good. I would like to know. I would like to know where the cricket power would come from. Carbon footprint, transport. Exactly. There's carbon footprint with all of this, isn't there? Such a crap. Don't forget the takeaway, Andy. Oh, I didn't. Who else was there? Yeah, Angela, what about the license going up? The TV license, is that what you're referring to? I did see a headline about that earlier. I want to try and get the Reform BBC guy on here, who's a subscriber of the channel, because he looks into trying to swerve it. I mean, Retro on his bikes is another one who openly says that he doesn't have a TV license, and I think he's mentioned it as well. And just teasing Benny. Andy is a good lad. I know. Cheers, Robert. And, thank you for your support. Let's have a look at the others. I'm led to believe that electric vehicles are so heavy, about 3 times as much as standard cars. Lots of tyre changes ahead. Yeah, you're right. There's increased costs all round. I mean, they were saying about charging them electrically and everything else. And look what the hell's happened to our bills. The cost of ownership just goes through the roof. It's not worth it. We had, because I've got an operator's license for my local authority, as in I run my own taxi firm as well as being a taxi driver. We all get information and emails from our local council every now and again. And one of the things that they wanted was our opinion on electric vehicles. They're obviously after some funding. So I gave them my opinion. And you can imagine what I said. Have a read of that, folks. Just found this insanity. Somebody's getting sued. There's an awful lot coming out in the press lately. Now, a lot of this, if you said it 3 years ago, you would have been called a conspiracy theorist. Now, look what's happening. Got to pay for Lineker's salary somehow. Lots of new Discord members tonight. Welcome, everyone. That's great that you're all over there, because you get a little bit of inside knowledge as well and support, and it's like another community all in itself. So that's brilliant stuff. Oh yeah, there's another link there. I think what we have to do with it is generate an invite link to get people in there. I think you might be right, Robert. I think you might be right. It's mad. I mean, fuel's coming down, but there's quite a disparity between petrol and diesel, isn't there, at the moment? But still, it's funny. And Ryan did a video on this ages and ages ago, and it's what we consider to be acceptable. You know, we say fuel's coming down, but is it? It's 40p a litre cheaper than it used to be. Is it really coming down? Is that what we have to accept? It's a little bit at a time. Yeah, that's right, Lisa. They'll usually chuck them if it's against their agenda. They'll get rid of them. I was very surprised because we have a problem with taxi drivers in our area, Thanet, and it's a problem that's all over the country. We don't have enough of them. Now, how taxi drivers make or taxi firms make their money, they get as many taxi drivers as they can delivering their passengers, and then they take what's called a circuit fee. It's usually £100 a week or thereabouts, probably more by now. So naturally, it's in the taxi firm's best interest to get as many circuit fees as possible. And then when you get taxi drivers drying up and going elsewhere, their income drops and they start to panic. Now, there's a big thing at the moment in my area about saying the knowledge test is too hard. Get the knowledge test sorted out, but they're not thinking about all the other factors, all things like tax checks, vehicle ages, obsessions with electric vehicles. It's an absolute minefield, and it doesn't really incentivize people to come into an industry I've been a part of for the last 12 years. It's, we will see. I mean, I got all the information about this meeting that's coming up, and some of the firm's feedback has actually been listed, which I was surprised at. Yes, valid point, Ryan. Could we get a shout out, Andy, about Martin? I'm still concerned. Yes, Martin Sullivan is a fellow YouTuber who I've had on here before. And now he's the guy that does all the parodies of other YouTubers. If you recall, he basically set up a little scene behind him with a stepladder and a Sainsbury's carrier bag when we did our thing. Martin seems to have gone missing, and we're very concerned that something might have befell him. There's a couple of YouTubers that have got his phone number. They've tried ringing him and can't get hold of him. I've tried messaging him. He's not responding to messages. Judging by his YouTube channel, he's not uploaded anything in a little while, which seems a little bit out of character. So we are a little bit concerned. So if anybody does know anything or lives in his neck of the woods or, can do anything, would appreciate it. Just to remind you of Martin, I will... Let's have a look. I'm just going to get his channel. Just get a couple of... Yeah, here we go. I've just loaded a video with Martin's face on it so you can see. Yeah, that's Martin. As I said, he was a guest on my channel a little while ago. Yeah, Ryan has just said 9 days ago, and there's been no messages, nothing at all from him for a little while. Me and him were in regular daily contact. I know Retro on his bikes is another one that was in contact with him. I don't know whether Retro will know anything, but there's just been nothing at all. Yeah, Julie, thank you. You've just put the link to his channel in there. It's like he's just disappeared. I tried looking at his Facebook, his channel, to see if I could pick up any clues, and nothing. So we are a little bit concerned, and obviously hope he's okay because he's a nice bloke. I was going to try and get to have a cup of tea with him because he lives literally 10 minutes down the road from Gatwick Airport, and it would have been very doable. But hope I still get the chance. And if you are listening, Martin, reach out to us and get in touch. Let us know you're okay. No matter how bad your situation, there'll always be someone on this channel to give support. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant comment. That's what we got. Loads of people here from all walks of life, and we've all experienced and done different things, and we all just want to help and be here for each other. That's what it's all about, and that's a very, very good comment. Okay, Andy, has anybody heard of Lord Miles, who has also gone missing? That's a new one on me. Angela, tell me more. Yeah, hopefully there's a reasonable explanation to it like that, Peter. He's gone on a break or a holiday. I know his family setup because he's told me, you know, what's what in the background, you know, his living arrangements and all the rest of it. I'm obviously not going to spill that here because that's his business and no one else's, but I hope that is what's happened, that you would have thought he'd have been in touch or something. The massive hug that is Andy's army. Exactly. Right, folks, I've been here for just over an hour. I'm going to have to knock it on the head, I'm afraid, because I've got to go get some shut-eye and I'm off to the airport at 2 o'clock in the morning. Thank you very much for coming to see me. As usual, your support is marvellous, means the world, particularly over this weekend. Ryan as well. You've all been great. I really, really appreciate it. Please hit the like button on this chat if you haven't done so already, because it helps the algorithm push it about. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, it's free. It helps. So please subscribe to the channel as well. Tomorrow, we're back in business. There's 4 videos coming out in the morning from 8 o'clock. And then that will continue throughout the week. I got my voice back. I got my health back, and I'm all fine. So back firing on all 4 cylinders. Thankfully, it didn't last very long. So that's all good. Those of you that are in the chat, sorry if I haven't got to you this evening and pulled out your comment at all. But, you know, we've had a good natter. I've tried to get to everyone. Don't forget Discord either. It's a very, very good tool which we've started using, and you can get contact with everyone in there. So look after yourselves. Angela, remember, reach out, Discord, everything else. Talk to Russ. He's a diamond. He will understand and everything. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm just trying to find the right button to push. And then I can say, oh, here we go. God blimey, you'd think I'd know how to work this thing. I've done it enough times. Yeah, toodaloo.